Growing up, I was taught that in order to achieve big things, you needed to sacrifice for the greater good, grow tougher skin, and man up. Whether it was my academics or my career, I quickly learned that embracing my femininity while also being a very driven individual was often not received very well by those around me. In college, I studied communication, a major that's often referred to as a soft field of study due to its high female predominance. And after college, I started pursuing my dreams of working in marketing. No matter how much I achieved, my success was always viewed as lesser for being in a softer female field, despite the fact that I was happy. To be ambitious and successful in a traditional sense has always been rooted in masculine energy. However, today I'm about to share why I believe that this doesn't have to be the case, because who says you can't be an ambitious or high-achieving person while maintaining femininity? If you're new here, my name is Macy. I am 23 years old. I live alone in New York City, and I'm on a journey to become the best version of myself possible. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about something kind of different, how to balance femininity and being a high, ambitious, driven individual. So without further ado, let's get into it. Nothing that I do to succeed in life is unique to women. Discipline, ambition, focus, consistency, to me, like, these are all just traits. Masculine, feminine, I don't know. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what I need to do to succeed in life and to pursue my dreams and passions. To me, these are just traits that I know I need to embody if I want to achieve the lifestyle that I want. For me, the overarching point of this video is that it is very much possible to be a high achiever and to also be successful in a feminine way. I don't think that you have to adopt this masculine version of success that the internet or society tells you that you need to have in order to be taken seriously. At the end of the day, like, you're allowed to be strategic and driven and also be soft and intuitive and expressive. I do recognize, though, that engaging in these fields that are traditionally female dominated tends to come with a bit of a price. Respect is not automatically given, and those experiences that I have had working in a female dominated field really reflects the nature of our society and kind of where we currently stand. The reminder that I give myself is that it's not a reflection of my capabilities, and at the end of the day, like, what other people think of my career, my choices, and how I live my life doesn't matter, because I'm living the best life I can possibly live, and I'm happy with that. So I wanted to come here and also give an anecdote about the journey that I've had to endure in order to be in the position that I am today. And I'm very grateful for all of the experiences and opportunities I've had in my lifetime. I don't necessarily come from a super privileged background. I started my academic journey in community college, and I ended it graduating from Cornell at 19 years old. And I'm really, really proud of that. I think there's a lot of hard work and ambition that was required in order to get to that level. I also think that people had a lot of things to say about the path that I've chosen, and I recognize that this is not a very typical path for most young women to take, or just people in general. For instance, I've posted videos in the past about graduating at such a young age, and the journey of that, like, I kind of wanted to post something fun and encourage people to pursue their dreams, but I think there was a lot that the internet ended up taking the wrong way and framed it as like, ooh, this is a daddy's money situation. Like, she didn't actually work for it, or why would you do all of that to pursue marketing or beauty marketing, like a very female-dominated industry. From a conventional standpoint, I would like to say that I believe that I was pretty successful in what I set out to do, and I was able to achieve things that I'm proud of. But sharing that and seeing the reaction that people had made me realize, like, yeah, like, there is a lot that society as a whole, like, maybe isn't really used to, and you know what? That's okay. It's not great. It's definitely not ideal, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I worked for this and I worked hard. I have personally not seen representation online that share that it's okay to do what you want. Like, working in a female-dominated industry such as marketing and majoring in communication, where people view communication as a major as a joke. Even like other career paths in wellness or education or fashion, like, they're definitely not taken as seriously as careers in tech or finance, consulting, whatever it may be. My point in bringing all of this up is to share a reminder that choosing a female-dominated industry doesn't mean lower impact or lesser value. Education's a really great example of a field that's very undervalued and not often respected as much as it should, despite the impact it has on shaping the generation of our future. People don't really respect it in the same regard that a more male-dominated field like tech that brings home a big chunk of money does. You gotta choose what you want to do and pursue it with your whole heart, despite what anyone else thinks. And I know that that's easier said than done, and that comes with a lot of privilege to even say that sentence, but as somebody who has been in that position, wanting to choose an industry such as marketing and was able to make it to the other side of quote unquote success, like it is very possible to enjoy your life, have a wonderful, beautiful experience, and you just gotta like not listen to what other people say. Like other people's definition of what is successful should not matter or deter what you want to do in life. And I hate seeing how many people decide not to pursue their passions just because it's a soft field or it's not taken as seriously, it's not as respectable as something that's like more technical. I know that when I chose communication as a major, like my family was kind of like, I don't know about that. Like it's not very practical, like it's very soft. Marketing is very soft. Like why don't you do something that's a bit more substantial? It's something that can give you a skill that you can take on into the future. And I understand that there is a level of practicality that comes with whatever field that you want to pursue, but I think I kind of let that influence me a bit too much. And when I was in college, I actually concentrated in information technology because I felt that if I didn't do so, that people wouldn't take me seriously in my career, that people would perceive me to be lesser. And I almost pursued a career in UX and UI, like a more technical creative field, solely because of this fear that what I was trying to pursue would not be good enough. After college, I had a job offer that had a great salary lined up that would have been in a more technical field, UX UI. There's like some coding involved. I really was gonna pursue that. I thought the stable salary and the income would be great. But at the very last minute, I decided, you know what, I am actually going to drop everything, start over, and get experience in a field that I actually want to pursue. This field was marketing, and maybe it was seen as something that's a bit more soft, and people definitely had their own perceptions of it, especially on the internet when I shared that I was going into beauty marketing. But I knew that this was something that I would have a lot more fun doing, that came more naturally to me. Beauty marketing is definitely a great example of a more female-dominated industry, but I loved it. I had a fantastic time. I set my career up in the way that I wanted to. I started over, even though it meant that I had to become an intern all over again, despite having a full-time job. And you know what? I'm so happy that I did that because it taught me so much about my passions, my journey, and like what I wanted to learn without the influence of what other people thought I should be doing and what would actually be respectable. At the end of the day, I think there needs to be more representation around encouraging people to pursue these fields and that there is success in those fields. There is money in those fields, but nobody talks about it because not that many people go all in and pursue their passions with the same energy and commitment that is required to excel and succeed. For instance, marketing is a field where your starting salary out of college is probably not going to be as impressive as someone that's an engineer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no money that can be made in that career path. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's lesser in any way. Once you get past those points, if you excel in that career path, like you will be rewarded. It really comes down to just embracing whatever the heck that you want to do. Whether it is a feminine industry or not, like who cares? Do what you love and pursue it wholeheartedly because you will be rewarded no matter what you want. So let's also talk about some of the practices that help support the lifestyle that I live and my overall happiness. An example of something that I do that may be seen as more masculine and, you know, very type A of me, not that feminine, whatever, is like I work over 80 hours a week, like in total, because I have a full-time job. On top of that, I have other projects that I'm working on. And to be honest, like I don't get to come home and just like relax and watch a movie. Like I'm usually working on something or putting my energy towards a project that is going to pay off in the future. And that's something that requires a lot of discipline, a lot of setting myself up. Like there's just so many different things that go into that. So I wanted to also share some of the practices that allow me to manage a super high workload, but also this balance of doing the more quote unquote feminine things that I actually enjoy and still make time for. And I think a lot of that comes down to romanticizing my life. So for starters, I actually really enjoy working at a cafe. I have to do a lot of working outside of my day job to keep up with other things that I'm doing, whether it's UGC, social media, editing, all these different things. And something that I enjoy doing is getting myself a matcha and going to a cafe and getting work done. That is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. Like I love getting a matcha and just like knocking out an editing session or knocking out some brainstorming or sending out some emails. And while that may not sound super attractive to other people, like I find it to be quite therapeutic as long as I have a matcha in hand and I'm in an aesthetic cafe, nothing really matters other than getting it done and doing it in a way that I enjoy. I also am a big fan of setting up my morning right. So I wake up early, I love Pilates, I love working out, and I have my own physique goals that I want to uphold and progress in, and doing Pilates like for 2 hours a day is a way that I really enjoy engaging my body, getting some movement in. Just being able to enjoy that is something that's so important to me, and I think, you know what, that's my equivalent of whatever the David Goggins hardo vibes would be. I really wanted to start this channel to kind of show what romanticizing the day-to-day looks like, enjoying the small rituals of my skincare routine and making my matcha in the morning, going to the gym, dressing up, getting ready for work, like all the little details and things that come with enjoying your life. Personally, I enjoy doing these activities and things that make me feel good about myself, and also living in the details. Like I love enjoying the little details that make my life just like so much better. The bottom line of this video is for me to share that ambition is just a trait. I believe that femininity is something that you have the power to define on your own. I think balancing both comes down to spending time enjoying the small moments and crafting out the rituals that make you feel good and that you want to do, and not doing them for other people's approval or validation. When I was pursuing the things that I wanted, I did not see other people who told me that it was okay to like be a person in a field that was lower paying, and that it was also okay to excel and get promoted and break 6 figures in my first year out of college, despite the fact that the industry is low paying. And that is my message to anyone that is watching this video, is that you can do both. It just takes time and a level of believing in yourself and not listening to what anyone else has to say about whatever it is that you're doing. With that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I know that this was a little bit of a different type of format than my usual content, but I hope it was insightful in some way, and I look forward to seeing you in my next week's video.